Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my brand new podcast, The Cup of Show. I'm actually really excited to have my guest here today, Jed. Say hello, Jed.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
It's gonna be a fun time. This is a podcast idea I came up with in college for a group project, and I was excited to get this one underway. As many of you may not know, but Jed has a podcast of his own, and it inspired me to create this one or bring it back up
Come
again.
on.
Yes, sir.
Come on. We're only starting, but we're already inspiring. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
get it, man.
yeah. It was a great inspiration for me, so I decided to create this one. Um, so the cup of show, just to give like a little disclaimer to everyone, because this is going to be the first episode. Um, it's just a safe place for people to enjoy a podcast, have a cup of coffee or a drink of their choice in the morning, and just listen to some inspiration, some ambition, um, something that we're gonna discuss is lifestyle and waking up in the morning. And I actually did something with Jed. I asked him what time he wakes up in the morning, and the standard day, not every day, of course, but what he does in the morning. And I wanted to sort of reiterate that, copy it, and see how he lives in the morning and see what differences we have in that sort of way. And to be quite honest, I have done this something similar before, because obviously I've been friends with Jed for quite some time, and we've done this before because we talked about morning routines with each other.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I decided to do this one. So breakdown of the morning was 5 a.m. wake up, which is a little early for me. I got back home from work last night, so I'm a little tired. Um,
That's why we have
and
coffee right now.
exactly. Um, but yeah, I had the 5 a.m. wake up. Um, then about 10 minutes after I woke up, this one was actually a little bit harder. So I woke up at around 5:30. I put the alarm off like two or three times. But after that, I journaled a little bit. I did the meditating for about 5 minutes. Jed likes to meditate in the morning and clear his mind. And then journal. The journaling was a little different. So what do you do for journaling? I'm actually curious because I wrote down
No,
some other stuff. You
I
don't have
don't.
to say what, but you can give like a
I don't
description.
have a complicated stuff. I have this. It's called the 5 minute journal.
Okay.
Cause I'm still not used to that like writing thing, like writing a lot of stuff. But I've been practicing that one at the same. Like I do this, and I try to write more on a blank piece of notebook right here. See, I have everything with me.
Right.
So this is not. Yeah, like for example, list the things that I'm grateful for, or the people that I
Mm,
interacted with throughout the day,
okay.
the experiences I have in a day, yeah, those type of things. So yeah, for journaling, it's just that. Like literally, I think I do this before meditation. I think it helps before meditation because I think, because journaling makes you like it's kind of like a to do list, but not really.
Yeah.
It's more of a like how you approach your day, pretty much like hey what do you want to accomplish today, how do you want to feel today, how can it's my journaling is focused on how am I going to be in service of others. For example, oh, I want to be a little nicer today, I want to help at least one person today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just that type of journaling.
And I found myself doing that. I found myself writing down stuff I was gonna do for the day.
Hmm.
Um, but I like what you said about what was it, writing down goals and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
um
things throughout the day, like what you want to accomplish throughout
yeah,
that day, what
yeah,
kind of person you want to be today, you know what I mean?
yeah. And I like that side of it. I did just literally write what I was going to do, what I was thinking about in the morning, and it is very helpful. I found it very helpful to just kind of get that off your mind and start your day that way. So that was nice. That was nice. Another thing Jed does is he reads as well. For at least he tries to read at least one chapter or 10 pages, 10 to 15 pages, something like that. But yeah, that's something I've struggled with. I've never been much of a big reader. And Jed actually has gone into reading recently, so it's something that he's looked into, and he's been reading a lot. So I hope to get into that as well. It's a good habit to build, and yeah, it was good to do that morning routine. It
Mhm.
was it was fun.
How'd you
Um,
feel about the meditation part?
I actually liked it. So I've meditated before.
For 5 minutes, eh?
Yes, this one I decided to do for 5 minutes because I was a little tired. I thought about the 10-minute one, but I decided to do a 5-minute one. I just googled it on YouTube. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was good. It was good to clear. A lot of this was very clearing. Like I was able to clear my mind and have a sense of control. And that was good. I enjoyed it very much. So
Are you gonna be looking forward to be doing this type of routine for your following days, or it's still something that you're like, because you can have your own type of routine. It doesn't have to be waking up at 5. You know what I mean?
mm,
But like, would meditation, journaling, reading, and all that would like, are you gonna consider that to be one of your routines eventually? Maybe.
I think so. I think I could. This is something I could definitely get into. Obviously, not waking up at 5. I know you're a little bit of an early bird yourself, um, but I do think that I will start reading, start meditating, and I've actually done the journal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily writing down what I want to do, or goals or anything like that, but whenever I'm reading, I'll take down some notes, and if there's a word that I'm new to or still trying to
Mm-hmm.
wrap my brain around, I'll write it down and I'll go and search it on the internet and kind
Mm-hmm.
of figure out ways to use it in my everyday life. So that's something I do with journaling a little bit when I'm reading, but I'd love to get back into that. That would be
That's
phenomenal.
really good actually, because the especially when you said when there's a word you don't know, you kind of wanna learn something new every single day.
Mm,
So I was reading a book called 5 A.M. Club. I've told you about this, and because the way the author really promotes, like for example, like self improvement, you really got to do something for your mind, your soul, your body,
mm,
and your heart. So I think it crosses out one of the things, like for example, your mind. Like you gotta be in a good mental state. Plus, you gotta be exercising your mind as well, right?
of
So
course.
it's good when you journal. You kind of learn new words, especially when you read. Like I think you probably enjoy reading in that sense too, because you're gonna see some word that you have not heard before, probably.
Yes.
So I think like this routine would really, since you've done a lot of these before, and obviously none of these are comfortable. Not even one of them is comfortable. Like even waking up, even reading. I hate reading myself, but hey, for the past 2 months, I've like I think I'm gonna finish this one soon. So I basically finished 2 books in 1 month, and that's crazy. I'm gonna be on my third book soon,
Damn.
right? And I do find myself every time I talk to people, I'm more articulate and I'm more like wise on what words to choose, especially when communicating with certain types of people. Because you don't talk to the same, like I don't talk to the same way I talk to another person when I talk to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, of
Like it's
course.
it
Yeah.
because our way of communicating is different. So I think learning new words is really good for your mind too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think everything you just stated was pure factual. One thing I want to introduce on this segment as Jed takes a sip, I actually want to know what's in the cup this morning.
It's a Filipino style coffee. I don't know if you can get to see that. It's almost done. But yeah, it's Filipino
Mmm.
style coffee with 1 teaspoon of sugar and some milk. Like I don't
Okay.
shy away from sugar because I exercise.
Right.
Like I do physical activity, so I burn it out anyway.
Yeah.
And I haven't been eating. You know what? The past week I've been enjoying myself a little bit, but I haven't been eating like a lot of sugar the past 3 years, and that's crazy.
Hmm.
Like you don't see me eating a lot of donuts, none of that. It's only like a phase. For example, like 2 days, 3 days, I eat like
Right.
sweets, and then
Right.
after that, I get sick of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing for myself. I find myself getting those tendencies, um,
Mhm.
particularly around the fall. I don't know what it is about the months of September and October.
Yeah,
There's
that's me too,
something
actually.
something in the air. I don't know.
No, because I have a theory. Not necessarily a theory, but like I think because when it's cold, because our body likes to stay warm, likes to stay comfortable, right?
Right.
And then when we reach a point where damn, it's gonna be cozy, it's gonna be fall. I want to stay in my room. I want to wear my sweaters. I want to wear cardigans.
Right.
I want to wear something comfy. So then when you feel that vibe in your nervous system, I feel like it also happens with other things. Oh, damn, I'm not sweating enough today.
Mm.
So it means I'm more like inclined to, eat like ass today. Like eat some, eat some junk food, eat
Right.
some sweets. You know what I mean? I think it's just a matter of like the body loves being comfortable, and that's why I'm kind of developing these habits a lot stronger this season. It's because we tend to fall off really fast whenever we do something, and our focus is off. Our
Mm.
waking time, sleeping time is off. Is because there's more like darkness than in it there is daylight. Daylight, right?
Mm.
But quick fun fact: it doesn't matter if there's no sun in the morning. The sun, there's still light, right? So
Right.
if you walk outside in the morning, I learned this from my friend Gabe, and I think he's been listening to a podcast, and I've heard that podcast too. The same person that he was talking about. Um, it is said like I think according to the study that that guy read, don't quote me on this, but it doesn't matter if there's no sun in the morning. You should still. I mean, if it's -40 outside, you can't. Right? It's
Right.
merely almost impossible, and it's unhealthy for you. But if it's like if the weather is tolerable, I think you should still walk. In the morning, despite the sun being not there,
Mm.
because there's still sun. You're still receiving sunlight. Because without if there's no sunlight, there wouldn't be light at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
So
Of course.
it's still healthy to walk in the morning. Plus, you get your blood flowing. Like when you walk, and you feel a lot better, and you get that vitamin D. You don't even know it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's something I think I want to include in the mornings as well. Going for a walk. I know a lot of people take that for granted, and I think you
Uh-huh.
mentioned the benefits of the vitamin D in the morning. It's just
Yeah.
good to get some fresh air. Just go out in the morning. When I was last year, when I was going to a cottage, I would do the same thing every morning. It's pretty close, like 10-minute walk from the lake. So you'd walk up to the
Mhm.
lake, you'd smell the clean air. It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
You watch the sunset
Yeah.
in the morning. And
Uh-huh.
it's just good to do that. There's no lakes or ponds or anything like that where
Yeah.
I live, but getting out and seeing the sunrise, it's good. It's good to get that vitamin
I
D.
think it's just getting to go out before really going on TikTok or not, or like all
Yeah.
these social media apps. I think it's very important. Like you don't have to go out for a walk every time. You can,
Mhm.
for example, maybe journal and all that. Do yoga or something. Do something physical and make sure you're exposed to the outside world. You have windows open. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I think that's very important because when we start our days like with this, we become robots throughout the day. It doesn't
Oh yeah.
even like you don't even realize it. I was a robot for the past week, and I'm guilty of that. And but I can't be too hard on myself to the point where I beat myself up. It's just a matter of like I have to keep trying, and then reach that point where I'm able to stay consistent throughout the process of doing all these self help,
Mm.
self improvement stuff. Because
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it, obviously, and the way my routine is built is it's kind of like the book I'm reading. The guy who was featured there is like he's also aspiring to improve himself and like because the concept of waking up at 5 isn't just like, oh, you have to wake up early just so like you can say that you woke up at 5. If
Right.
you woke up at 5 and not do anything for yourself to improve yourself, then it's useless. You just woke up at 5, and if you scroll down on TikTok waking up at 5 a.m., then what's the point, right? I think the
Right.
point of that is just like the beginning of your day, the beginning of the day, you're already setting yourself up for success. You
I
know what I
love
mean?
that.
You're
Yeah.
already you're already meditating, you're already journaling, you're already getting some exercise, getting a few steps in the morning, and it's just that gesture of like putting yourself first
Mm.
among everything else, and I think that's very important because you can't put yourself out in the world if you're not comfortable with your own self.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so as well. I think I like what you said about eliminating the phone.
Uh-huh.
I
I'm guilty. I'm still guilty
oh,
of
me
it a little
too.
bit,
Oh, me too.
but I made progress in my opinion.
That's good. That's good. How many
Uh-huh.
how many minutes in the morning are we talking?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
On the
on the
phone.
phone?
Yeah.
That depends, cause me and my mates have a group chat, like for school. So whenever we have to send notes or whenever we have to talk about something
Right. Of
important,
course.
then that's productive still, because it's something that helps you. You know, it also sets you up for success. Because the friends that I have, they're really nice. You know, they send all their notes. Like, to be honest with you, I don't even have to make notes anymore for college. Like, they just send all their notes to me. So
That's
then I
great.
use that. I print them out. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's not something productive that you're doing, then it's pretty much useless, or it's just a waste of time.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like for example, entertainment, you can set time for that throughout the day because the body needs that. The
Yeah.
body needs dopamine. But too much of it, because I think the past decade or half a decade, I think there has been an overconsumption of like dope or content that helps
Mm-hmm.
us. Is it consume or
Yeah.
produce, right? Produce dopamine so that we feel
Yeah.
some type of way. Yeah, I think we've been having that for too much. I think since Vine was out, or whatever that early apps that were addictive.
I think
Yeah,
TikTok completely sprouted the consumption of dopamine. Like
yeah. I think
it
that's
was
when it reached
crazy.
like that's when it's skyrocketed. I feel like too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it like fast tracked it for sure. And after TikTok came out, I wasn't using it when it first came out. It took
Uh
me a
huh.
while to actually get on the app. Once I was on it, it's like every morning you turn it on, right?
Uh
And you can't get off.
huh.
You look at the time and it's like it's 9 a.m. You woke up at like 7:30. It's like what's going on? Like get out of bed.
But
So
at the same time, I have to address this one thing.
hmm,
I also think TikTok also was one of the big in the past 2 years since COVID happened. TikTok has been one of the most influential apps for like porn users, porn consumers.
yes,
I'm not
I
gonna
think so
lie,
too.
bro. Like I'm guilty of that too
Oh, of
in
course,
some
we
way.
all are.
I'm not gonna sit here and deny. Oh, I have not got attracted to porn just because of one TikTok video I
Right.
saw. Because it's an algorithm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you consume is whatever you want to see is whatever pops up on your page.
Right.
And now I'm kind of proud of myself that I don't see none of that fucking like because don't get me wrong, I'm not attacking those people who are working, who are like, for example, like OnlyFans models, none of like all, anybody in the adult industry. Like I'm not attacking them for that because
Right.
whatever I consume is in my control, right? And
Yeah, of
whatever
course, of course.
like yeah, so I was guilty of that at some point in my life, but now because I think for especially for guys, it's one of the things that got attracted, like that attracted them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of people, ed fucking they're not socializing as much anymore because they're already feeling all the like they're already feeling satisfied at home, and then they reach a point where, oh shit, this is just short term feeling,
Hmm.
and then they get depressed, and then suicide rate comes up, and then they're like, oh, I'm anxious to go out in the world. Not only was COVID, but also because of my lifestyle,
Right.
right? That's why I think that's why I promote the self help kind of stuff. Because after COVID, I felt like I had an awakening, and I do believe this thing that I'm gonna say. I think it's everybody's purpose to like um just help other people, just help each other, pretty much
Right.
spread love. I know that's cliche, but I think that's the main point, or that's the main reason why every single person is living on this planet,
Hmm.
because we don't know what's gonna happen in the afterlife. So why like do stuff that like I it's so hard to explain when you're not in that right mental state where
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, of course. And we both think a lot like that with the afterlife. We both talk a lot about it. We're both very curious, of course.
I got pretty long on that segment,
It's
but
okay. You're passionate about it. It's all right. But yeah, we both think a lot about the afterlife and and God and our both of our religious beliefs, and we like to get quite in detail about it, and I think that's important. And it's important to share with your peers, not what you believe, but what you're passionate about, and I think that reflects a lot off of your faith and your religion as well. Um,
that's true.
and I've gone into a lot of that in the last couple months. Praying more, and talking to God, or whatever anyone believes is up there. but that's something that I've been pretty passionate about for the last couple months.
We love that.
Yeah. I just want to talk about I think we shared this morning what was in your cup. I just want to briefly state why I got in
I was
the
gonna ask what's in that
yeah.
Donald Duck cup, bro.
Yeah, this
Goddamn.
is from Disney. This is from Disney World. This is the dope cup. Bought
Never
it.
been to Disneyland, never been to
Oh,
Disney World, but
it's a
we'll get on
dream,
that
man. It's a dream.
sometime. The
Um, but yeah, I got Van Hoot's original blend.
fuck is that, dude?
Yeah, I wanted to try something, so I'm gonna do some.
Oh,
It's
is it the one on Artwork?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. It's
Okay,
like the
okay.
Keurig pods.
Uh,
But I wanted to try new coffee because I always drink Tim's. I always drink Starbucks and the Keurigs. I tried Maxwell House with like the last. Obviously, I've had Maxwell House before and like the
it's
actual.
a Canadian.
Yeah, of course, of course. But
I was a kid and I've already tried Maxwell because my aunt sends us a lot of those back home in the Philippines when I was still there.
that's good. That's
It
good.
is good. I loved it.
It's
There's
great.
a
Yeah,
different feeling. But
it's a
now,
great
but
coffee.
actually, I forgot how it tastes like. I might buy one soon again.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Actually,
Yeah.
Randolph got me on those. He told me the Keurig pods are pretty good, so I'm like, all right, I'll buy
Hey, we're Filipino. Come on. We agree on that too.
it.
I keep
But
going
yeah,
though.
I wanted to make a segment for every show where I try a different coffee, try a different beverage of choice, and kind of give them a little bit of like a shout out in a way. I don't want to obviously like say this isn't a sponsor, but they are claiming that it is their coffee is carefully crafted in accordance with the original process established by Albert Louis Van Hoot a century ago and with the same passion and expertise. And they've been around since 1919. So
Damn.
they've been brewing coffee for a long time. They're brewing coffee from a little place in Montreal, Canada. So shout out to them. It's not bad. If I had to honestly give it a rating, I'd probably out of 10. I give it like a good 7. It's not too bad. It doesn't have like a bite like some coffees do.
Mm.
Um, I
I
drink
want that bite.
I drink a lot of coffee black now, so I understand that bite
Mm.
people are searching for. You know, I don't do no cream, no sugar. I like to taste the coffee as well. I had one with one milk the other day, and I don't know, I couldn't do it. It was like milk and water for me. So
I think you don't have to add sugar, but milk is milk is enough.
it's
Milk or
helpful.
cream, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
But
do find
getting used to
myself.
that black is good.
Yeah,
Getting used to that
I
black
do
coffee is
find
good.
myself going back to milk sometimes, but
Mhm.
I've been drinking a lot of
Trying to
coffee
avoid it.
black. And I think that has to do with the fact that I've had a lot of espressos at like parties and stuff like that, and your palate just gets used to that bitterness, and you don't worry about it anymore, right? So, it's
Did you know
not
that
as big a
drinking
deal.
black, like just drinking coffee in general, like Jordan Peterson said this. You can find the clip somewhere.
Hmm.
I think it's either a podcast that he did with Jocko Willink or Andrew Schultz. I'm not sure exactly,
Okay.
but it's a podcast where he was maybe even another like doctor because he always has like like doctor scientists that he gets on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
because he's Jordan Peterson. He knows the best of the best doctors, psychologists, whatever.
Right. Right.
So he was talking about how coffee makes you look young. I mean, too much coffee is insane, of course. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna make you look young. That's gonna make you look like a zombie because you're not sleeping no more. But I'm saying, I do believe that. I do feel like sometimes I feel like not only I look young. Sometimes when I drink coffee, I feel like I drink coffee, but I feel young. Maybe because that spark of energy in the morning, and then we perform a lot better throughout the day, and then we're more like, because when you're energetic, you're more easily motivated to do exercises and stuff. That's why there's pre-workout, right?
Right.
We're more hyped and shit. So that's why I think maybe not coffee, maybe caffeine makes you look young, or maybe there's something in the coffee because I think he specifically said coffee, so there might be something in the
And
coffee.
there are benefits to coffee. A lot of Europeans tell me about this. Specifically,
It
like
boosts the
my
brain.
yeah, my grandparents used to talk a lot about it. You know, my parents wouldn't want me drinking coffee when I was like 15, 16, 17 because they say it stunts your growth. You know that
That's
legend.
not true.
I don't think it's true at all. Yeah, but
It's
but
genetics.
that's just something they were told, right? So they keep you away from it. But no, there are a lot of benefits to it. You know, obviously it does get your heart going a little bit, so you gotta chill out on how many you're taking per day. But It's not bad. It's not bad. There are
Plus,
some great benefits to it.
Doctor Huberman. I'm not sure what's his name. I
Huberman.
gotta get this right because you need to follow this guy because he says some. Yeah,
Let me
it's
search him as well. See if I
his
can
name is
find him.
Andrew Huberman. Go on Instagram, Andrew Huberman,
All right.
comma PhD. But I think his name is just Huberman Lab, Huber Man Lab on Instagram. So okay, let's let you follow
There
this
I go.
guy
I found
first.
him.
So he's good, bro. My friend Gabe got me into this.
Okay.
Shout out to
Okay.
you, my bro. You should meet my boy Gabe. You guys would really connect. Plus, you have experience with radio, TV, and he's into cinematography.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
Was that the project you did? Like this past summer.
Yeah,
That was with
yeah,
him.
everything.
Okay. Okay.
And till now, he's still inviting me to be his photographer, which I'm grateful for.
Oh,
But
that's great.
you guys should meet. I think you guys would click.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
So going back to it, what was I talking about again? Dr. Huberman,
Huberman.
right?
Yes, Andrew Huberman.
What were we talking about? Coffee and then sleeping schedule.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think we were there talking about that.
okay. So he said that it's okay to drink cups of coffee in the morning, but make sure you don't drink coffee 8 hours before your sleeping time. Like literally,
Mm,
8 hours before you're like not getting ready for sleep, like just sleeping, or
right.
maybe that too. That's enough. I don't think that does a lot of harm, but I think it's because um when you drink coffee like for example 7 hours before or less than 8 hours before your bedtime, I
Right.
think it still affects it affects your, what do you call that, your deep sleep, your circadian rhythm, whatever that is. I
Mm.
think we studied this in nursing. I just forget because after I study one thing, do the test, I just forget everything. I just remember like the core things, or like the core things that like I think would help. I don't
The,
know,
the the
whatever.
triggers, yeah. Like some
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
stays, yeah.
Uh-huh. But yeah, so he said that you can't drink coffee past 2 p.m. because usually we sleep at like 10 and later.
Right.
But yeah, 8 hours before sleep, don't take coffee. Or at least you should be just right there.
Why is that? Is that because your body needs time to process the nutrients in coffee, or just like the actual caffeine
I
that
think it's
is
just
as
like
keeping you up?
I think it's just like the stimulant.
The stimulant.
Because I think it takes really a while for the like, of course the effects of the caffeine would die down. Like the effects that makes you feel awake,
Right.
but it also like it also stays there, I think, for far longer. I'm not sure the exact studies behind it. I should look more into it because it's really something that people should know, I think.
Hmm.
But I think it just makes you struggle to sleep more, but at the same time there's also so many other things that makes you struggle to sleep. For example, blue light. My
Right.
computer is literally beside my bed, so I really have to shut everything off. Even my clock, I feel like I should turn off my digital clock. I might buy an analog just for the sake of the, like,
Oh,
less
okay, okay.
lights.
Yeah.
But you know what? Never mind. Whatever I have is all I need. So
See, that's something
it's just
that's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. I'm pretty much done.
Oh, that's something
So
that's always not bothered me as well. Rather, um, just lights in the room. There's some stuff that does bother me, like the computer, the light on my computer, um, blinks at night a bright blue. That annoys me. That's the one thing that annoys
oh,
me.
like the
Yeah,
secret,
yeah.
like
The
computer
LED,
case.
yeah, for the
Mhm.
case.
That's why I turn the switch off too.
Yeah, so I gotta block that light. But sometimes my computer just wakes up on its own in the middle of the night.
That's why you unplug that shit, because that's
Oh
scary as
yeah,
fuck, bro.
yeah,
And you live in the fucking basement
I
of
think sometimes
your
I think there's
parents.
ghosts.
Like, to be fair,
I had a haunted Xbox, like a haunted Xbox, and I'm not even joking. I think this Xbox is cursed, and I sold that shit so fast as soon as
really?
I was
Oh,
not
was
like
that the
right
one
away.
recently you sold?
Sorry, yeah, yeah. Like the not the most recent one, but I had the original Xbox One back in like 2017, and then I ended up selling it a year later to
Just
get.
does it just has a mind of its own?
Yeah, it would literally, and this was like, it would freak me out. I would wake up and it's just on. Like, nobody pressed any buttons. Nothing. I turned it off when I went to bed. The Xbox is on when I wake up. And sometimes I would wake up and it would turn on.
Imagine it was just your dad fucking with you, because I kind of know your dad's personality. He kind of likes messing with you a little bit.
It could have been him. But
Yeah,
how would he turn? Like he just gets the remote? Maybe. You know what? That
because
could
the
be.
remote control, you can turn it on the remote control, no?
I much rather would have that than an actual haunted Xbox. So I'm hoping that that's the case. But stuff happens.
That's actually funny.
I
I mean,
want
to
to.
be fair, like this, like your basement is beautiful. It's big as fuck, but it's also kind of scary because when you live in the basement, the vibe's different. There's a scary vibes because your
Oh
parents
yeah.
upstairs, your sisters upstairs, your mom's upstairs.
You hear everything. Like
Yeah, like
the little things that you didn't think you would hear. Like obviously you think the furnace would turn on, right? And you'd hear the furnace running and chumming like but
you hear your dad peeing upstairs, like the drops.
yeah, yeah, you literally hear everything. The flushing, like the water running down the pipes inside the walls and all that. But that's something I've experienced in an unfinished basement before. But just like the creaks of a basement, there's a lot of pressure on the basement floor, right? So there's a lot more creaking down here than there is on the upper floors. So I hear all of that. So I've actually had to purchase. I can probably bring it in frame here. Let me unplug
Purchase
this shit.
soundproof.
I bought a sound machine and I actually use it every night.
Does
I
it
have like
scare you like that? Really?
it doesn't scare me, but
It just bothers you
my mind will stay awake absolutely, and I need something to draw my mind off of the
into
sounds and stuff like that.
you
Yeah.
know what? That maybe we can go back to meditation a little bit.
Hmm.
You know me, I'm not the type to stress about anything.
Right.
Like I of course like I do have stresses. I think about stuff all the time as well. But I know for a fact that a lot of the things that happen to me are in my control. You know, when you do a lot of meditation, not only it builds self-awareness and mindful I mean mind yeah, mindfulness self-awareness kind of goes hand in hand, or like self-awareness is into mindfulness.
Right.
So it builds a lot of mindfulness. Let's use that word. It's a lot more powerful, I think, when you say mindfulness. So it builds a lot of mindfulness, self-awareness, and then you reach a point where you're just so calm. Because you know why you're so calm? You practice breathing. When you practice meditation, you don't get anxious as much, you don't get nervous as much. And if you do, you get over it quick because you know all you need to do is breathe.
Right.
Plus, like a lot of the things that bothers you right now will stop or will go away once you really start meditating.
Hmm.
Because you know for a fact that a lot of like a lot of these things happen for a reason. For example, like bro, let's be real. Like there ain't no ghosts.
No, of course, yeah.
Like if anything, if something's happening, it's just God speaking to you. It's
Mm.
not a ghost. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? For example, some shit falls. Some supernatural fucking event happens in your basement. It's like before I think about what the fuck. I mean, that's probably gonna be my reaction as
Right, the
well.
initial reaction, yeah.
But like, you know what? God's got me. Fuck it. So then it goes to fate, right? Whatever. Like, I don't know where I'm going with this,
No, of course,
but you know
and
what I
I
mean. You
honestly
know what I mean,
believe that
right?
as well. I
Yeah.
honestly believe it has a lot to do with faith, and literally every night when I pray, because you never know what'll happen. I always pray that I'm safe before and after I fall asleep. You know, you never know what can happen. I live in a very safe neighborhood and a protected neighborhood, and everyone around me is very
Mm,
joyful and
trust.
like beautiful people, honestly.
Mm,
And but you never know what can happen. Someone can get in your house and you know do things that you would never want to imagine in a million years. Um,
I agree.
so you know, I always make sure to pray for my safety because
That's good.
stuff happens, right? So
And I like meditation does build spirituality, and like it just works like that. You go
mm,
back into faith, and you know me. I used to be an atheist. I used to be a skeptic. I used to be religious as well before that.
right.
And now I'm back to it. I started reading. I don't read the Bible like that, but I started reading the verse of the day every day.
Okay.
And like I do think that once you start meditating, it builds spirituality. Like
Mm,
meditating isn't what like a lot of these people these days think about it. Oh, there's a monkey. Oh, he's a hippie. Whatever, like whatever you want to call it. I mean, call it like that. Fuck it. If that's if really taking care of yourself, really putting a lot of effort on your own mind, body, and spirit means being a hippie, then fuck it. I'm a hippie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I do think meditation help bring back your faith in some way.
Mm.
Because you think about it, um, meditation, meditation builds gratitude, and you're gonna be grateful for all the things that's happening around you. So then, who do you come back to, or who are you really grateful for?
Right.
Think about that. Oh, I'm grateful for my family. Oh, I'm grateful for the opportunities that I get. So who are you when you ask that question to somebody? Who are you really grateful for?
Hmm.
Why are you grateful for your family?
And I
Because I have one. Who gave you that family, or how did your family come up? You know what I mean? Isn't that
yeah,
fucking amazing to think? Isn't that powerful? Like
it
I'm thinking about
is.
that right now, and I'm fucking driving myself insane right now. But I think practicing a lot of these things that really help your overall well-being really comes back to that faith and really makes you believe that God is fucking real, dude.
Mm. Preach
And of
that.
course, like people who are gonna listen to this, it's gonna get to the people that are chosen or who believes or who still is willing to believe. You know what I mean? Who's still willing to improve their self, their overall life. Because I think now that I think about it, without God, bro, where are we gonna be?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I might have been in a ditch somewhere if I
Yeah.
wasn't like this. If I wasn't guided enough by Him. You know what I'm saying? And listen, guys, I don't read the Bible, bro, and I have this much faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, of course
It's
it's crazy. And I
it.
feel exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. I don't think there's like I don't know. It's just something about having that faith. And I don't read the Bible either. Like not at all. And I just have that faith. And it's crazy to me.
I actually might start reading it again, but my intentions would be the same. It's to increase love for the man above,
Hmm.
but also because now that I started reading a verse a day, I think about like my approach is a little different because a lot of these verses are direct. Like, hey, love your enemy, love your neighbor, love everybody.
Right.
Uh, like for example, yesterday, like let me read the verse yesterday real quick for you. Damn, this is not a Bible study, by the way. Like, it's just a verse a day.
All right.
But you know what?
Let's hear it.
It might as well be. You know, what was the one yesterday? Is it the 23rd today?
It is the 23rd. Yes, it is.
Okay, let me just read you this one
Okay.
for today because I haven't read it actually. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalms 23rd verse 6. So I'll say
Mm.
that again. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. See, like whenever you put something good out there, whenever you put a lot of love out there, you reach a point where, why am I like this?
Mm.
Like why am I helping people? I could have been the worst person ever. But what's the purpose of me giving love to another person? Because you reach a point where you don't even care about anything back,
Right.
about receiving anything back. It's because like we learned in the Catholic school, because we both studied in Catholic schools.
Yes.
We're all created in the image and likeness of God, which is a God that loves unconditionally.
Of course.
So then, when we help people, when we help our family, no matter how much bad things you did out there, all the good comes from him, all the love comes from him, and we put it out there
Hmm.
because we're created in the image and likeness of whoever created us, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's crazy to think about. Like, and it all started with me trying to improve on myself.
And
You know what I mean?
yeah, of course. And um, I want to tell a little story. Just because there's something that happened within the past couple days that was like it hit me. It was like God is here, and it was insane. So Jed knows, but I have been looking for work in sports entertainment and everything like that. And I actually got very lucky. I was blessed to get an interview um, with a company. I won't disclose their name, but I got an interview with a company in the sports entertainment industry, and interview went very well. everything went very well. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, they did say no. But stuff happens, and I always think there's something meant to be, or that everything happens for a reason. I've always been a big believer in that. And he gave me a very valid response. He was very kind and said that, based on your implications and everything, you seem like you want to be in on air, and the position was for something that was more behind the scenes. So it made sense to me, his explanation. But it hurt. And it really did hurt. I really did want the position, even though it was something that was part time. Um,
Because it
and
was a good position,
yeah, yeah, I
but
think
it
so.
wasn't. It was probably not good for you because it wasn't the thing that you're supposed to be in.
Right. And the thing that I knew God was with me is when I was at Shoppers and I was on a shift and I saw this pop up. And all of a sudden, a gentleman walks up to me, and this is a nice gentleman. I know him, he's a regular, and I've spoken with him before. And smile from ear to ear, like just a great guy. He walks up and
This
he's
is the
like,
old guy
yeah, it's an older guy, and
that talks to everyone.
not
Sometimes he
George,
talks.
not George. It's
Oh, not
another
George. Oh,
gentleman. Yeah,
okay.
this guy has chatted me with me before, and he's talked about sports and sports entertainment because he knows
Ooh.
people from ESPN. And he walked up to me and he was like, "How are you?" And I was like, oh, "I'm pretty good." I feel like he could sense my energy. He just
Mhm.
knew something was wrong. And he knew that I like sports. So he started talking about it, and he started saying, "Are you looking for work?" And I told him, actually, unfortunately, I just had an interview and you know, it didn't prosper. It didn't give me the opportunity to get the job. And he said, "That's okay. You'll find stuff." And he started giving me suggestions on, like, the Raptors and stuff like that. He said you should contact them. Don't give up. And that for me was God sending down my guardian angel. I don't know why,
That's amazing. That's
but it
amazing.
just it just felt right in the moment. Even the morning of, when I got the email in the evening, and in the morning of,
You haven't
I
told me
I
this.
felt, yeah, it just happened yesterday. Um
Oh,
yeah, and I
fucking nuts.
I just felt the need to look on LinkedIn for no reason. Like, I knew I had a feeling I was going to get the job, but for some reason my brain was like, "Go look on LinkedIn. You're not looking enough." And I think
Mhm.
that was God sending me a message. Something's going to happen today that's going to change the outcome of what you've been doing recently. And that's
That's fucking
exactly what
cool.
happened.
Yeah, exactly. You know, also the reason behind that, it's because I think the way you told the story, I think God was waiting for you to take that step
Mhm.
to actually try to, be your best, like be the best version you can ever be. Reach your highest potential. People, I haven't reached my highest potential, but I came to a point where 45 days straight, I was aiming for that, and then I just attracted all the good things. And when I fell off, I regret it so much now. That's why, I mean, I'm not beating myself up, but it also takes time to heal when you fall off and you put yourself down. And I'm at that phase again.
Mm.
I think the reason why you got that blessing is because maybe there was something that was holding you back, and you probably let go of it, and
Mm.
you actually started to take action for what you can control so that you can improve your life. I think God has always had that, or God has always had these rewards for us, but it's because we needed to check something off the list to actually, oh, the door's open now. You
Mm.
can unlock it now. Here's your opportunity. And then there's another path to another door, and it's just the same type of way. So that's why I think the verse for today should it says, oh, this is crazy. I'm like a priest, dude. I don't even read the fucking Bible. But it's just when you really work on yourself, be grateful, acknowledge who the creator, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it says, I remember it. My phone's off right now, so I'm not even looking at it. Surely your love and goodness will follow me.
Mm.
So when you really lead with love, do all the things you do with love, you actually receive love,
Yeah.
but not in a way you expect it to turn out. It's always not the way you want it to turn out because you don't control that. You control like how you lead with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Damn,
Yeah.
should I
Yeah,
be a
man.
priest, dude?
That go
God
go
damn.
go sign up.
No, fuck that. No, no.
Nah, screw that.
I wanna multiply.
Yes, you would also you
You
will
know,
not be able to get married, unfortunately, as a priest. But
and I think I'd affect more people if I have a family and then pass my learnings onto them,
yeah,
and then for because when you pass it to one generation, your son, it just lives on.
mm,
It's just how it is.
I think this is very important as well.
It's a good virus.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a what's the way to say it? Um, it's a positive virus. That's a good way to put it.
It's a virus fighting bad virus
Yeah,
or
yeah,
overpowering bad virus.
almost
Because
countering it. Yeah.
people have no idea how powerful good is. Because in life, we all know this for a fact, or maybe because we had a lack of gratitude before back when we were ignorant.
Mm.
That I do believe that one good thing outweighs 100 bad things that we experience.
Wow.
That's why we need to struggle. We need to get through those bad things to actually get that one good thing. But we know for a fact that this one good thing is long term. All the bad shit, no matter how much combined, they're all short term.
Yeah.
There's no bad thing that's long term if you think about it. Like not, even like thinking about it, even those people that gets life sentences in prison,
Mm.
the bad shit that happened to them is already done because they're already in prison. It already happened, right?
But is that
They,
is not being in that life setting not a long term um
I mean, literally, it is a long term lifetime.
right?
But how are they gonna live their lives in prison? How are they gonna respond to whatever terrible thing they did? Because we know for a fact that maybe they restore their faith. They know for a fact that forgiveness is something that exists in the world.
Okay.
Even God forgives. The reason why people forgives is because God forgives.
I like that. I like the fact that you took something that was, like bad, of course, like going to prison. No one wants to do that. And you
Mhm.
found the positives because I think you're obligated to find the positives and counter when you are
Mhm.
doing something that's bad. And you
But I know for
always
a
get
fact
to a
that
point. Sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 keep going, keep going. That's my
You
bad. That's
you
my bad.
always
That's good.
go to a point where even if it is a guy that is like murdered people or whatever, you get to a point in your head where you're like, this is enough. And I have to change my life around.
Mhm.
Everybody gets to that point.
But like, yeah, that's true. And I've seen videos where they changed their life in prison. They started bringing back their faith to God,
Mm-hmm.
because the body looks for purpose,
Yes.
even though you're already in prison, even though you already have a life sentence. But for some people, unfortunately, they get too fucked in the head that they're just unable to, which is hard.
Mm.
Like, but at the end of the day, that's not in our control. And then I do believe that if they reach a point where let's say, because I haven't met God literally because I'm still alive.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I met him, I'd be scared.
Hmm.
I'd be fearful. But because I haven't done enough good in the world, I think, and I do believe that I have a great potential to impact a lot of people. Because I have the gift of voice. Obviously, I love talking, and especially talking about improving oneself. But I just gotta take action. I'm not ready to die yet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
But when you're in prison, you seek for a purpose, and when you're unable to, it's just up to God. That's not in your control.
Damn.
But I do admire those people that still go because they were lost, dude. The reason why they did something bad because they were lost,
Mm.
and they didn't grow up in an environment where God is either God was introduced to them, and they just ignored it just because of maybe external influence outside of the family or just family history.
Mm.
But I love that there are these people that actually tries to change their lives in prison, live with purpose. Start to lead with love, and I'm pretty sure they regret all the bad shit they did
Oh yeah.
if they really aim for change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And forgiveness is real, dude. In real life, it's real. So we're not better than God, you know. So if it's real here, it's more than real for Him too, as long as you just show it,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy where we got at that segment,
Oh,
or part of the pod.
welcome to Living on a Prayer podcast with Nick and Jess. It really
Yeah,
feels like that we got that churchy
yeah,
vibe going. No,
yeah.
this is
We're not even religious, and then we got to that. Hola!
just a disclaimer. It's the Cup of Show podcast with Nick and Jed.
Uh,
I
let's do
want to
something
talk.
different.
I want to talk a little bit more about you. Like, what do you have planned for you today? We already talked a little bit about that, but what do you have planned for you today, for the week? What are your ambitions for this week? What do you want to accomplish in this
I
week?
really, I really do need to work on like planning something yearly, monthly, and weekly. Because the yearly and monthly you won't focus as much, right?
Hmm.
But the weekly and daily, that's what I need to focus on. Today, I'm focused on eating right, hygiene, of course, meditation,
Hmm.
journaling, reading, writing, even. Because like you said, you want to learn new words. With reading, true, there is that. But I bought this $5 pocket book of writing prompts so that I can get more creative. At the same time, become more insightful as a human being. Because I think when you're a very insightful person, you become more creative because you think about more things, and
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of ways to think about stuff. That's the way I approached this podcast today. That's why we got to the Bible, even though I'm not religious.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of got into that. Yeah. So for today, I want to work out. I want to study. Study. I've been
Okay.
slacking off for the past fucking week because I don't like studying, but I have to.
No one likes
It's not.
studying. Nobody likes it. Nobody enjoys it. Not even the A+ student is like, I enjoy studying. No, you don't. You're a liar.
Uh, but what I admire about those students is they have discipline to keep going regardless.
Yes, that's what
I'm
I
not
will
disciplined.
agree with. They have discipline. This is the first time I'll agree with Andrew Tate about the discipline thing. Is that he does preach about that,
No,
having
to be
discipline.
honest, that guy says some good
He
shit.
does. He does have some good stuff.
He says a lot of good shit,
There are some
but
stupid
it's
things
just
though.
we just don't know his purpose of doing stuff.
Mm.
Because there's a part of his communication style I just don't like, but we're not gonna get into that.
No, no, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would want to work out. I would want to sleep early. I
Mm.
would want to do yoga because my lower back is kind of tight today because I lifted too heavy on Saturday. And for
It
some reason,
feels
I'm
like a
still feeling
yoga
it
day.
today.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right?
It feels
Right?
like a yoga day. Yeah, that's the
And
motive.
expose ourselves from the sun because it's kind of bright outside too. You got to take a look outside too in a
Mm.
bit, while it's still early too.
Oh yeah, we got the light in the face right now, so I need to go blink outside to get some good sunlight in my eyes.
Yeah. So that and maybe another set of meditation tonight just to keep myself going.
That's good.
Hopefully, I fulfill those. I will fulfill those. Fuck it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And you know what? Since I'm alone in the house and nobody's gonna shower after me, I'm gonna do a cold bath. Whoo! I'm scared, bro. But
I don't like cold baths. Do you enjoy them? Like, I don't enjoy them whatsoever. The first
No,
minute is awful. First
bro.
minute
The first 10 seconds,
sucks.
I'm out, dude. I'm
Really,
trying to
10
build that.
seconds? Okay. That
I'm trying to build that mental fortitude.
that
Like
yeah.
I'm talking like cold shower, like David Goggins cold shower,
Oh yeah.
like freaking Dwayne Johnson cold shower, like whoever does it, whoever famous person does it,
There
like
are just
that type of
some
thing.
people that can do it. One of my boys, he literally he just brings it up. He's like, after hockey or before hockey, I'm going to take a cold shower. I'm like, I'm I'm sorry. What did you say?
Sorry, what?
You you
After
just
a hockey
you just
game,
you
it's
just
cold
take a
there, dude.
you just take a cold shower like nonchalantly, just yeah, they are actually really relaxing.
It is relaxing, but it's not comfortable.
But how?
That's why you know why people do cold shower, or like people that are not athletes regardless do cold shower
Mm.
in the morning. It's the first thing they do in the morning. It builds mental fortitude. It helps you with your breathing. It's kind of like meditation in some way. Because once you're there, you're thinking about how much longer, 3 to 4 minutes, how much longer. So I think it's just building that discipline too to do something uncomfortable.
Mm.
Okay, I think I got this from Dr. Huberman, whatever, however you pronounce his name.
Andrew Huberman, I think.
Huberman, right?
Yeah,
And so I'm sorry, I'm not good with white names,
that's
bro.
okay.
Like, but yeah, yeah, it's just getting used to that, doing something uncomfortable, which I promote, but I'm guilty not doing it sometimes. But that's why I took a week or two break, because I know for a fact I heard something on TikTok, because I follow some good people on TikTok, right? And he said, listen, it's not always about that getting back into that insane discipline and insane habit.
Mm.
It's taking time to recover and actually like, but you can't take too long. You can procrastinate too long,
Yeah.
but you really gotta have everything set before you do it. But I know for a fact that sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and do it. But sometimes where you don't even realize you're in pain, because I didn't realize that the past 2 weeks I was in pain. Pain in the sense of like, because I've been putting myself down, because I haven't been fulfilling these habits that I did for a while.
Mm.
But all you have to do is become more forgiving of yourself throughout the process of it, and then go back into it,
Right.
because you're human. You
Yeah.
you need time to recover, but at the same time, it's also important when you're in these habits, you don't burn out.
Mm.
That's why a guy like Jordan Peterson keeps going, a guy like Jordan or a guy like Gary V keeps going, because they really take time to recover. Because
Mm.
Jordan Peterson is a very intellectual guy, and that's exhausting.
Yeah.
Gary V is he's not an emotional guy, but he's also an intellectual guy about life,
Right. And he
and
shows that a lot.
yeah, he shows you a lot with
Oh
his
yeah, within his
enthusiasm,
content, yeah.
with his within his content. A guy like Jay Shetty,
Hmm.
he's not gonna be able to promote mindfulness or all these stuff about our mental health and emotional health. 'Cause that's exhausting as well.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, our body needs to recover, our mind needs to recover, our heart needs to recover, our soul needs to recover. So lay low for a little bit. But
Yeah.
recovering doesn't mean you're gonna go into your bad habits. It just means that if you need a break from everything, go take a break. But don't consume all the bad things that made you fall off before, because you're just gonna keep falling down. That's
Mm.
what happened to me. I went
Mm.
to the bad habits on my phone. I was on my phone the whole day yesterday. But at the same time, I didn't give a shit, because I know for a fact that today was gonna be the day that I actually do something.
Do you mind that at all? Like, are you an advocate for makeup days, like making up for what you lost in terms of content, in terms of being
Yeah,
productive, like that?
yeah,
You're all right with that?
that's healthy, because especially when you're in this creative field, you can't just create something just because you want to produce something out there,
Right.
just so you want to keep uploading. The way you approach every single thing you do in life has to have intention.
Hmm.
If I upload this video, will I fulfill? Will myself become a lot more fuller? Would I feel full? Would I feel grateful about life? And then if you do, then that's cool. And then if it doesn't, then you might want to take a little break or something. You know what
Mm.
I mean? If it
Yeah.
becomes really too much for you, then take a little break, take a step back. You know, because sometimes you don't feel like creating, right? But also at the same time, this is where discipline comes into place. What if you're just tired physically, but you know for a fact you can get work done? So then
Mm.
you get work done. What I'm saying is, like, when you reach a point of burnout, take a break. You're gonna forced to have a makeup day anyway, right?
Right.
When you recover. But on your recovery days, what are you doing?
Hmm.
You should still be meditating, because it's not a physically and mentally taxing exercise. If anything, it
Right.
helps.
I think
It helps
so.
you
Yeah.
become more calm, become more mindful about what you do.
Hmm.
And who knows, you might end up doing work after that.
I used to have this happen every time. I do yoga from P90X, like the that program. You know
Old
that
school.
programming, right? Yeah,
Old
old
school.
school stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Tony Horton and the gang. But, um, I
I
do
only knew
their
about, like, quick segue, quick fun fact.
no,
I
yeah, yeah.
only knew about P90X because of the Lazy song by Bruno Mars.
Really?
tomorrow I'll wake up, do some
Right.
P90X, and I'm like back in the Philippines. I was in fifth grade. P90X. What the fuck? What the fuck is P90X?
Yeah.
And then now that I saw it, oh, it's exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then he
Like,
talks about sex, and it's like that doesn't really link. I think he just wanted to rhyme X and sex. I don't know. I don't know. Bruno Mars, amazing artist, but those lyrics were wonky. I'll give him that.
he's horny
Um,
as hell, dude.
but yeah, probably at that time. Um, but yeah, I was doing P90X, and I would do the Yoga X program, and I would always find myself because they do meditation after. They do like the full what's it called? Um
Cool down.
I don't know what they actually categorize the main exercises as, but they'll do the main exercises and then they'll do a stretching segment where they'll have you almost contort your body and get
Like
every
after.
yeah, they'll get your entire body. It's like a 40-minute stretch session. Like it's crazy. You do all these
But you
stretches for
need
your
that. You
back.
do need
Oh
that.
yeah, you do, and it's awesome. And then you do a meditation with ohms, and they say they're not religious at all, but
Um,
like they do a whole thing. And after you do that, I always find myself walking upstairs, and I'm just
like you're
smiling.
floating. Like,
I'm floating. I'm smiling. Like just my body feels
and then
good.
you look at your dad. Dad. Your dad's like, what? I fucking love you, Dad.
Yeah,
You know
just
what I
start
mean?
yoga. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because it builds a sense of
Hold on one
gratefulness,
sec.
and then it gives you a lot of joy. It gives you so much joy after meditation, because you're just, damn.
Mm,
I'm so grateful for everything. I'm mindful of the things that I need to get done today. Yeah, it's just amazing. But when you talked about like ohms, the method of like saying that in meditation, I did one of Deepak Chopra. I think you've heard of this guy before.
yeah, yeah.
Deepak Chopra is he's like a I think he was a monk at some point, but now he's a speaker. He has a 3 minute. You should do this. He has a 3 minute meditation when you just need to wind out from stress. 3 minute meditation on YouTube. Deepak Chopra, like Deeprak. Yeah, he has this 3 minute meditation where towards the end it's like with the like when you're associating with that sound, it's different. I don't know how scientifically that helps with meditation, or
Chopra,
like
there he is.
that gets you into like a deep trance state of like mindfulness.
Mm,
But you should, whenever, that's not what you do in the morning. Like the meditation you need to do in the morning has to have like, for example, um I'm gonna text you this after, just so you know.
okay.
Boho beautiful meditation. You've probably
Boho, I've
came
heard
across.
of. Yes.
Yeah, she's the Ukrainian girl
Mm-hmm.
that she does guided meditation. So you should do her meditations, because I feel like the meditation doing in the morning has something to do with intentions throughout your day. Oh, I want to heal. I want to be more positive today, whatever.
Right.
And but with the Deepak Chopra one, I suggest doing that whenever you have a lot of workload and you need, like, when you're doing like an hour break, do that 3 minute one. It doesn't hurt. Three
Okay.
minutes don't hurt throughout your day. And then you're like, damn, I'm like refreshed. Okay, and then we gotta do work again. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Funny how you mentioned that Om method, and I experienced it with this 3 minute meditation. And what more if I did like an hour meditation? I
Mm.
want to reach that point when I'm able to do that. Because if 10 to 20 minute meditation a day changed my life, what more if I really learn how to
Up it.
meditate by
Yeah.
myself?
Right.
I'd be like the most, and I'll
Yeah.
be bald. I become like an actual monk.
You'd be calm with yourself. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think so.
That's why Jay Shetty, right?
Yes.
I don't know how he was able to live like a monk for 2 years. He became a monk.
Did he really? Like I've
Yeah,
heard of him,
he,
of
he
course, but I didn't know
yeah.
actually he became a monk.
So he was in college. I'm not sure if he did it when he graduated, but he didn't know what to do with his life, so then he became a monk. Of course, his family wasn't supportive because like, I'm not sure if he's Indian or around that, like, around from, he's for sure from the Middle East.
Mm.
So like, hopefully I don't get canceled on this. Like, it doesn't sound bad
No,
at
you're
all, right?
okay. You're okay.
But yeah, but I think because I know how these families are. Like I've interacted with a lot of them before. Even with Asian families, it's the same. What are you gonna do there? And then
Mm,
like he told his story about his upbringing as a monk, and then after that, he's now a speaker. He's now a millionaire. He's now
yeah,
changing people's lives, right?
that's incredible.
And he was one, and he was like an again academically inclined guy. So maybe that's why also a lot of his podcasts he always based it off of like studies because he got used to that. And also it's good.
Mm,
You got to be scientifically good as well because not a lot of people are spiritual. So then you give knowledge to those type of people.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I did want to bring up two topics. Obviously in the world of sports, we talk a little bit about sports, but I feel like everyone watches this tournament every year, the World Cup.
Mhm.
And have you been watching the World Cup at all?
Damn, it's crazy. You know why? I don't watch World Cup, but I saw the two of the biggest news ever.
Yeah.
Ronaldo leaving
Oh yeah.
Manchester United
Yep.
because they lost.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. And Messi lost, dude.
Oh no, that was bad. Against okay,
I
South.
thought they were gonna meet at the peak, dude. Because that's the dream of everybody, right? I'm not a football fan. I've
Of
only got
course.
into it recently with my friend Gabe. Because my friend Gabe, his parents is from Dominican,
Okay.
and the other one's Filipino. But growing up, of course, all his uncles and aunts that are here are like mostly Dominican. I
Right.
don't
Right.
think he has a lot of Filipino relatives here, but whatever. So he basically grew up with football. He educated me with it recently, and I've even played FIFA, and I didn't know how. Like, but you know what? No, I kind of knew how. I kind of knew
You knew
what
the
the
basics
goal is.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the basics because I know basketball.
Right.
It's kind of like the same in some sense, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what positions or like set plays. I don't know how to do that.
Right. Right.
I know how to kick the fucking ball to the
There's a
goal.
lot of passing. There's a lot of passing,
Yeah,
a lot
there's
of
not passing.
strategy, moving. You're moving
A lot,
around the players. Yeah.
a lot more. It's not fast paced in terms of scoring, but a
It's
lot more
very
movement
slow.
in
Very slow
basketball.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I got into that recently, and when I watched them play FIFA for like the whole night, because we did an overnight Halloween party once in the
That's
basement.
dope. Yeah.
So they were playing FIFA, and I'm like analyzing the game because when I watch games, I kind of like study it as well.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I watch some Messi and Ronaldo clips, I'm like, fuck, these guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand the whole game as much, but I know they're fucking good.
Yeah. That was like
But
me with basketball in the beginning. Like I didn't watch a lot of basketball growing up. Heck, when I was 12, I didn't know. It's gonna sound crazy. I didn't know who Kobe was, who LeBron was, or
you
who
told me
Michael
this.
Jordan was.
You told me
None
these.
of them. I I only
That's
knew
fine though.
MJ because I watched Space Jam.
Listen, I didn't know Tom Brady before because I didn't have that sport in my country.
Right.
It wasn't in my culture back in the Philippines. Also with football, with
Mm.
Ronaldo, with Messi. But when I really got into it, when you go through social media, you pretty much figure out the stories behind every single player.
Mm.
When I knew World Cup was coming this week or last week at least, like in the morning it happened, right? In our time, it was in the morning, and I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be Argentina and Manchester.
Mm.
They're gonna be up there, and now both of them lost, and there's a reason for that. Like, it's probably the decisions they made. It's either the whole team or like the whole roster, or it's just not for them this year.
Depending on the situation, the way you look at it, Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think he lost. I think he finally escaped. I think the way that he was in Manchester United, because this is the city, he's playing for the country right now in the World Cup. But all of a sudden, during the World Cup, the news breaks out that the city he's leaving is Man United, and he's been there for about a year and a half.
But he was
And
also there a long time ago, right?
yes, he played like when he was like 17 to like 20, and then he joined Real Madrid. Um, but thank God he left Manchester United
Was it really a
because
bad
it
call for
was
him?
it was a toxic environment for Cristiano Ronaldo. But he kind of did it to himself. It's like the whole story is that
UK fans are crazy,
oh yeah,
no matter where.
oh yeah, they love that man. I swear,
That's why they
Manchester
don't got
love that
basketball in
man.
the UK, bro.
Yeah, yep. But the whole story is that Ronaldo just came off like a 40 goal season, which is crazy because he's 37 at the time where he scored 40 goals in
Oh,
the best league in the world.
how
Um,
old is? Yeah, he's like 40. He's like
He's
37, no?
38 now. He's turning 39, but
He looks younger than me, bro.
right, his genetics, like his physique, is crazy. Um, but yeah, the whole story of like him going from Manchester United. After that, he wanted to leave because Manchester United did not make the Champions League, which Champions League is like the big European tournament, where the best teams from Europe,
The best in
right,
the
the best
Europe,
of the
eh?
best from the European cities clash, and they play to see who's the best out of all the countries: Germany, France, England, all the top nations, right? So they didn't make it. They made the Europa, which the Europa is for the teams that are like that place fourth, third place, and the
Tier two,
yeah,
pretty much.
almost like tier two. And he was not about that. Ronaldo
No,
is
it doesn't deserve that
Ronaldo is one of the best Champions League players of all
ever.
time, possibly the
Yeah,
best Champions League player. And now this guy's gonna go play Europa football. It was like embarrassing. So he wanted to leave, but Manchester United did not allow him to leave, and
because of the contract.
because of the contract. Also, nobody was able to pay his wages. His wages are insane. He gets like 300K per week. It's like
Isn't he like a
stupid.
multi-billionaire now?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
He
think
even has a watch line,
I think
dude.
he just became a billionaire 2 years ago, if
2 years
I'm not
ago.
mistaken. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago he became a billionaire, which is unreal. Like congrats to him. But he wanted to leave Manchester United, and all the teams that he wanted to go to said no because they didn't want to pick his wages. So he
They
was
can't
like,
afford him.
right? So he's like, okay, shit. Now I need to go back. Well, now Manchester United
Yeah.
doesn't want him back because he basically just says, sorry, I'm leaving your guys' ass. I know I gave you a great season, but I'm gone. And they felt very disrespected, and they've benched Ronaldo basically the whole year. So this is a very proving tournament for Ronaldo. He needs to win the World
He
Cup
went
or go
back.
far in the World Cup. Yeah, he's still in the World Cup. Portugal hasn't played yet. Um, but he needs to go far in this tournament to prove that he's still that guy, that he's still one of the best
Wait,
players in
so
the
he's in
world.
Portugal now?
Oh yeah. They play on Thursdays. So they're doing the group stage.
How much did
Uh
they pay him?
for like the country is free. Like
Oh, the
every
country's free. So it's like Olympics then.
yeah,
My
it's
bad,
like the
my bad,
Olympics.
my bad, my bad,
Exactly.
my bad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Um but yeah, going back to Argentina.
That's a
I don't
tough
know
loss.
how they lost to Saudi Arabia.
No, but they play good.
They
I
they
watched the
did.
highlights.
They did. The
Like I may
goaltending
not
was
know
pretty
much about
decent.
I may not know much about football, but the way they were moving the ball is
Oh
crazy.
yeah. They were fantastic. And
And then there was this photo where this dude walked up to Messi and they were like smiling at each other. Like
I think
maybe
that
next time they
they
gotta
were
probably say, I
making
don't know,
they were making
smirks.
Ronaldo chants in the streets. They were mocking Messi. They were just having way too much fun after that win, which is great. I love to see
Bro,
the
you can't
underdogs
talk
win.
shit to Messi. You can't talk shit to Messi.
I think it's necessary though. I feel like as an underdog team, like it was
If you
insane.
can say that you beat them. You can say that you beat
Someone
them.
pulled up the stat on BR Football. It's a soccer Instagram site. Um, Saudi Arabia is worth $50 million. Their whole team. That's their whole team
That's
combined.
they
But
broke.
they broke because one of the players on Argentina who played on the bench, Paulo Dybala, is worth 50 million. So one player on Argentina is worth the same amount of money as Saudi Arabia, and they beat them. Like
Yeah, on paper that looks bad.
on paper, it's awful, but you know
But at
what?
the
They're
same
still in it.
time, Argentina's still on it, right?
They're still in it. They got 2 games left. It's gonna be harder for them now because that was probably
It's
the
like
easiest team.
it's like LeBron in the playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
Like they barely make the playoffs, but they make it regardless. So then they dominate.
The good thing for them is that the other 2 teams tied, so they still have an opportunity. But I did not see that coming. Saudi Arabia, that was crazy.
That was
Um,
a crazy win for them. But they can say that they beat Messi, but if they don't win the chip, it doesn't fucking matter.
mm, yep, I think so too.
Just like how it doesn't matter how much points LeBron score I still believe MJ is the GOAT and Kobe's second to that.
Hmm. There is a big
I'm
game,
the biggest LeBron fan, but now that I like, because when I was a kid, I was more biased, right?
right?
Because I first started looking up to Kobe, but then when the Lakers just could barely make it in the playoffs, I looked for somebody else to support. So you can call me a bandwagon, but I was a kid. I didn't know shit about sports like that.
Mm.
So I saw LeBron; he was dominating. So then I think the first time he lost to the Magic, that was back in the day. That was in '08. Um, and then I think that was the first time that I was really supporting LeBron. But it's always been Kobe. When I play 2K, I
Mm.
played on my PSP, bro. 2K. Oh no, NBA Live '08.
I
NBA
had
Live
NBA Live
'08,
as well.
dude. And it was Kobe. The best player is Kobe there. Like I just never passed the ball, and I fucking owned the game. Like I beat the game. So yeah, so that I think it's just like how Argentina is right now. They're chilling. They don't
Oh yeah,
care.
they could
It's
still win the World Cup.
like you said, one of them's worth 50 million. You think they're gonna get fucked in the head after they lost to
No,
Saudi Arabia?
no, no, no,
Maybe
no.
yeah, sure. For a moment, for like 3 days, let's say for a week, give it a week.
Yeah,
After that, people are gonna forget, dude.
they got 2 games to redeem themselves, so
And then if they win the tournament, bro,
nobody's gonna remember
bye
that.
bye,
Yeah,
bye bye.
the only stat that'll come up is that um, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. Everyone lost their mind, and then look what happened. They won. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I think the talk shit is normal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Especially for the top dog teams, because everyone expects, you know, for them to be perfect,
Mhm.
and sometimes it doesn't happen. So
If
I,
anything, there's a lot more pressure than to Messi than the whole team.
oh yeah, oh it's definitely on Messi because, um, this whole time, Messi just won, um, what is it called? The Copa? That's not the Copa, but it's the tournament for South America. The Europeans have the Euro.
They probably
Um,
dominated that.
Yes, they did. They very much did this year. So Europeans have the Euro. Italy won that. The Africans have Afcon, which was the winner Senegal, and I'm not sure if I'm missing one. I don't. Oh, Concacaf, which is for um, the Canada, Mexico, USA, but it's really not that big. It's the Gold Cup. That's not.
Mhm,
It's not as big as a tournament.
mhm.
But for South America, it's pretty big as well. It's pretty comparable to the Euro, and Argentina just won, so there's a lot of expectation from them, and there's a lot of pressure on Messi because this could be his final World Cup as
Yeah,
Ronaldo,
he's old,
and
isn't he? 41.
he's a little bit younger than Ronaldo. He's 36.
Oh, Messi's younger than Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the other way around, dude.
Yeah, he does look deceiving. Like he does look a little bit older than Ronaldo, which is kind of crazy to
No,
think
because he
about.
Ronaldo works out more.
I know way more, but I've always said that
Working out makes you look younger.
I've always
Working
said
out
this
makes you look
about
younger.
Ronaldo and the Messi argument. Um, I think they're both talented players, and I love Ronaldo because I'm Portuguese and I bleed freaking green and red. Um, but Messi's the best player, and he is because
Like, yeah, you know what? Think
Ronaldo
about it this way.
Ronaldo is the hardest working football player I've ever seen in my life, ever. That's
Hmm.
Kobe Bryant right there.
Hmm.
That's Michael
Yes,
Jordan,
I
right?
agree.
But the talent and the pure skill that
Hmm.
Messi brings almost without even trying. This guy is
Yeah.
gifted. He has
Hmm.
magic feet. And
And also, it doesn't mean he works hard because Ronaldo shows that he works hard, but that
right.
doesn't mean Messi doesn't work as hard or even harder. But also, think about it this way. I think, I mean, my opinions would probably not be valid, but the
Mm,
like just on paper or like just seeing all the stuff I see online about Messi and Ronaldo, like the debate,
mm.
dude, Messi's younger and Ronaldo's almost done.
And Messi almost has the same amount of goals as Ronaldo,
Exactly.
and
That's
he's
what I'm
two
saying.
years
That's what I
younger.
saw recently too.
Yeah.
And at the same, but if you ask me who's the greatest player of all time, the only way I would say Ronaldo, it's because of his impact to. I think he had a larger, more impact and influence to football fans in terms of like work ethic and like all the values that he preaches. Because I think being the greatest player ever is more than just the sport.
Mm,
But like the greatest player, like overall player, I would say Ronaldo, the greatest player of the game. Am I making sense right now?
Yeah, no, you are.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the greatest player to ever play the game, that could be Messi, dude. That could be Messi.
I think it is. I think it already is. He's the best player.
Messi is not as loud as Ronaldo,
Right.
so therefore it's kind of like overpowers it. But at the same time, he's younger.
Like
And
the
listen,
older crowd will say Maradona. The older crowd will say Pele. I don't know if you know those names, but
I
those
think Ronaldo
guys,
acknowledges those guys too.
yes, those guys carried the legacy of the game, but they don't represent the best of the game, if that makes sense. I don't think they're the best players to ever live, but they started the game and made the game what it is today. Um, what's the what's
They're
the
also
guy's
great.
name in
One of the
basketball?
greats.
Bill, what's his name? Oh my gosh.
Bill Russell,
Bill Russell. Bill Russell was one of the guys that like founded
11 chips.
the game, right? For yeah, exactly. He founded the game for basketball.
Wait, does
And
he have
there's
11 chips?
oh yeah, there's so many other names that I could say about basketball, but those are the founding fathers of the game, right? And in the modern era, it's picked up with Jordan in the 90s, with Kobe in the early 2000s. Those guys are the best of the bunch. And LeBron, you can throw it in there. There's so many good basketball players.
Mhm.
But
That doesn't take away their greatness. Is what you're
exactly.
saying.
Doesn't
Yeah.
take away their greatness, but they still are some of the best players. However, I don't think they are the best. Um, I did want to bring up one more topic just to kind of end it on a well, it won't be ending on a high note, unfortunately. But
That's fine.
we
Not me.
both work at Shoppers Drug Mart. We both have part time positions there, and something that we've noticed. I work up front, but I also notice as well as Jed works in the back. Um, there has been clearings and like nothing vacant of any Tylenol medications, of
Mhm.
any cough and cold syrups. All this shit is
Mhm.
gone. And like
Yeah.
there's a theory behind it that they are holding back for people to have a want. This is very like big business strategy. I learned this in high school as well, like the needs and wants thing. Um,
Mhm.
it's now becoming a need. It is no longer a want. They are making it a need, and starting
Yeah, it's
to
crazy.
it's crazy. Like I can't believe that there's nothing on the shelves. It's actually bad for adults who are getting the flu, who are getting COVID, but for children
Mhm.
especially.
Yeah, I was gonna say the babies.
Exactly.
The babies need it. But at the same time, it's good for other brands
It is.
to put out more. Cause if there's really a shortage of like medications or like for example ingredients whatever,
Mm.
then for every brand it should be the same thing. Because there's a lot of stuff that they use that are the same, right?
What do you believe is the actual issue? Because some people blame it on the government. They say they're not given the resources for them. I don't believe that. Um, but
The resources
I do think
are
there is
always
some
there.
hesitancy.
I think resources wise, bro, there's no way there's no resources.
Right. Like
The amount of technology that we have and how quickly we can produce stuff these days is way exponential than it was 10 years ago. So
yeah.
I really don't know what to think about it. Like, I'm just saying it's becoming what I can maybe say is like it's becoming more of a demand.
Mm.
It's becoming, or like there's a lot more demands these days because ever since I think it's also because ever since COVID happened and now it's flu season.
Yep.
And it's the first time people have no mask, and it's been a minute. Because when we wore masks, we were, apart from having COVID, none of us really got sick like that because we wore masks. We were healthy, a lot more like, protected.
Mm.
But I think maybe hoarding is also one of the reasons at first,
Mm-hmm.
and then even like I think it would probably be hoarding not only by consumers but also producers or like sellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they're also like hoarding, and then maybe there's a strategy behind that, but like I never know. Like,
I think one thing that um that small bit or not small businesses, but pharmacies and pharmaceutical shops and stores and stuff like that, the thing that they all share is they're holding the blame for products not being on the shelf. And I don't think that's right at all. We're getting, obviously, the blame has to be sent somewhere. And
mhm,
unfortunately, it gets sent to the shoppers, the Rexall,
yeah.
any place that has a pharmacy. And it is so disheartening because I would love nothing more than to give people the medication they need to get better and back on their feet. I would
Mhm.
sell 10 to each person if I could, but it's just not there.
I think it's a lot more complicated than we think. I think there's a
I
lot
think
more
so.
that goes into it. Cause why wouldn't they produce? What? They don't want the money to keep going. They don't
It's
want
such an
the
interesting topic, yeah.
like it's crazy. But also at the same time, I just think that there's a lot of demand for it, and I don't think people or like workers are able to keep up to produce more. Maybe it's just like that's the simplest way I can approach it. Cause like
Hmm.
there's no way they're trying to what they're trying to get people sick, but at the same time we take vaccines. Like, huh?
Like there's theories out there that they're holding it for, well, the theory in October was that they're holding it for cough and flu season. Well, it's that time. Like now is the time where it's cough and flu season. We need the medication and it's just not coming. So that theory is kaput, gone. That theory no longer holds. But I do think
Wow.
it has to do something with the business strategy of it. They are giving supplies and they are sending them to stores more frequently now, but it's in little bunches. They're sending like 10 things of each, 10 of each, which is standard. Usually we get a lot more though, but
Yeah.
during this season it's more scarce, right? So it's harder to get your hands on the products.
I mean, it's hard to know because we don't really get any information about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Plus, like, if it ever, I don't know if it because I never watched the news. I
right.
don't know if it went to the news at all. Did it?
It did a little bit. It's like,
So there we go.
yeah.
So what I was where I was getting at, like, they can like the media can make it more dramatic than it is.
Mm,
They can because the media loves scaring people, putting them on like like this level of like nervousness
right.
about stuff. Or that's why like parents are like, oh, I need more Tylenol. I'm gonna buy one even though I don't need one. Or
Mm,
that's when hoarding comes into place. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot more that goes into it. So
mm.
I don't know actually, but I for the past 2 3 months there has been a shortage of it.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for some people, and
I feel bad sometimes too, but at the
yeah,
same time, it doesn't have to be Tylenol. There's a
no,
lot
and
more
it,
brands that you can use, dude. Like,
yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. More people are obsessed with the fact on cough syrup because obviously with COVID there is more coughing involved than sneezing or headaches or stuff like that. Um, but more people know that it's more effective to have the syrup, excuse me, rather than having a tablet or a capsule or liquid gel or something like that.
mhm.
They work just as well. Like I
Even
don't,
even for kids, there's like syrups that like, for example, the Life brand that we have, they're good
right.
enough.
But
This
those aren't even on the shelves. That's what I'm saying. Everything is gone. Like it's coming, but
but there is
it,
something on the shelf regardless,
yes, there is something
and
always on the shelf, but
they can always inquire to the pharmacist which one would work this like just the same way as that, and
yeah.
then the parents can confirm to their family doctors, hey, can my kid take this because there's nothing on the shelf.
Mm,
At the same time, sometimes even the clinics they do carry some over the counter.
mm.
So you can't blame that on the companies that sell it. You blame that on the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Well, you think we're not trying to make money here?
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It's like,
We work for shoppers. They
yeah.
need to pay us, so they need more products. So then, oh
Yeah.
no,
And
it,
I love when people look at me and they're like, are you guys like, I've had a couple people ask if we're like holding it and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with children's Tylenol? I'm freaking 21 years old. What do I have, a child?
no, they think we're sketchy people.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense because
No, but
I
at the
come
same
to
time,
work and provide. That's why I come in.
it comes from a place where whenever they don't get what they want, plus they're going through something in life,
Yeah.
just that's why customers are like that. That's
Mm.
why I used to be annoyed with customers. Now I don't care because I know where they're coming from, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
I can understand now. That me too. I'm exactly the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, anything else you want to ask me, bro?
Not at all, bro. Wow. We talked for quite some time. One
How long, dude?
hour and 30 minutes, so that was good. That was good. Yeah. Jed, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast today, man. I
Of
really
course, dude.
appreciate it.
We should do this every week.
Shout out all your socials. Go for it. Just plug right now. This is your free time to do that.
So I do have a podcast myself. It's called the Art of Life Podcast. The links would be on my Instagram, Linktree, Jed's POV, Jeds POV, no spaces, no characters, none of that. Hit me up on Instagram, and my podcast also has an Instagram for shorts. I also have a TikTok. It's the same way, the Art of Life Podcast. It's all in the link tree on my main Instagram, so I suggest you just follow my Instagram at Jed's POV, and you'll see everything on there.
And I will leave some links on the screen and some links in the description for you guys to go check him out. He does some incredible stuff. So make sure you go support Jed in the process. But
Hey, congrats on your podcast, dude. You have a
thank you,
podcast
man.
now. Come on, come
Yes,
on.
yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm
Hope you learned something new today. I learned a lot today.
absolutely. It was a very insightful
It's already.
conversation.
It's only what? It's only early today. It's only
It
9:30 in
is
the morning,
9:30 in the morning for us. Yeah,
and we already got shit done. So,
yeah.
hey, make sure you edit this today so that you don't procrastinate it like me.
I definitely got, yeah, I have some spare time today, so it's definitely going to be out soon. This video, you guys are probably seeing this on a Saturday, Sunday.
Hmm.
That's usually when I'm going to post them every week. So it should be a Saturday or a Sunday when you guys see this video going up. But without further ado, I want to thank you guys all for watching my podcast. Click like, subscribe for more of these videos, and make sure to share this video with your
Click
friends
right
and
here.
family. Click right. I'm gonna put it right there. I'll put it right there. I'll put the like and subscribe on each one. All right.
The lighting is crazy too, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling swole. I need to work out today. You
Uh,
need to work out today.
oh,
You
yeah.
got a whole ass gym in your basement,
Of
or
course,
just go to the gym that you're
we
at.
talked about yoga. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a yoga today, or I can go to the gym. Switch it
I'm
up.
doing everything. I'm gonna do stretching, everything.
Me
But
too.
yeah, thank you for having me, dude.
No worries. Thank you for coming on. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and take it easy, guys.